Hey, what's good? Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me for yet another episode of Ciphered Knowledge with Chrissy. And before I go into introducing our guest for tonight, which I'm excited. I'm ready to do this. We all need a good laugh. I do have to pay my dues. Make sure you go over to Instagram and Facebook and follow so that you can get all the content. Make sure you're receiving all the shows that are coming up at Chrissy.Cipher for both Instagram and Facebook. Also, head over to YouTube, 2M1L Media. This is where you're going to find all our great shows. Cipher Knowledge with Chrissy every Sunday at 8 p.m. You've got Around the Turnbuckle Saturdays and Sundays, 6 p.m. You've got Spitting with Spitter on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. And we will be premiering our new show, 2 Cents with 2 Dimes. So be on the lookout for that. All right. So I am going to go ahead and turn it over to our guest, Jay Davis, writer, actor, producer. I've shared some of his content on my show. I hope everybody took a look to get this laugh, but welcome to the show, and thank you for being on Cipher Knowledge with Chrissy.
Thank you for having me. It's great. How you doing?
I'm good. So we got our first comment. Hey, Lamont, what's going on? So, we'll be chiming in, as I normally do. I have a set of questions, but sometimes our, viewers go ahead and change the flow of the show. But, we were chopping it up behind the scenes and everything, and just, talking and laughing and giggling and everything. So hopefully that's what this show will be all about. But I do want to start off with the same question I ask every guest that comes on. Pretty much is, what inspired you to do the work that you do, to do the sketch comedy and produce and act? What brought that about?
I always the jokester in the family, but I'm the quiet one. That's the funny part. So my early inspirations were Robert Townsend. Robert Townsend. Dave
I'm thinking of Meteor Man. Like that's what he did, right?
Before Meteor Man, that was terrible. But like him, Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, those are like some of my early inspirations.
All right. So I know you are in Chicago, Illinois, right? Yes. So you're a little bit behind. And we already got an extra damn fucking hour. Right. 2020 that we did not need this year. But we got it. So is that where you do most of your work, out of Chicago?
Yeah, me and my partner Dante Williams, we've been working together the last 8.5 years. So we pretty much film everything here. We have filmed some stuff in LA before, but the majority of the stuff is filmed here.
Perfect. So I did actually go, and if everybody go to my page, I put up the links to his YouTube, I put up the links to his Amazon shows, and I'm gonna skip around a little bit. So I was watching Stepdads, and I thought to myself, where the hell did you get this? Like, is that real life? Like something that, or did you like all creativity? Like what?
I just created it because I thought to myself, like, I wanted to do a family show, but I wanted to put a twist on it.
Right. If you go watch it, right, you know why I'm laughing.
And I wanted to put a twist on it. So I was like, what would make someone keep another person's kid after they've been cheated on? And it's like, I had to make the situation dire for him to be able to keep the kid. So it was just something that just came off the top of my head.
Because I was like, what? In the, like, them kids would have been diapers, like Child Protective Services, like, bye-bye. Like, right. you gotta go. But no, definitely, guys, go take a look. It's on Amazon Prime. It's stepdads. You know what? I'm gonna just throw it up right now since we're talking about it. I'm gonna go ahead and if you go to Amazon, he's got stepdads and choking that series, and then if you go to YouTube, not another zombie movie and not another black movie. So make sure you go check out those links on my page for a laugh. So I was also like, I check out all my guests, like, because I want to be knowledgeable. I want to make sure that we have something to, chat about. I saw your little cartoon clip of, well, not even that one. I know which one you're talking about, the one I shared, but not that one. The one when the cops pulled you over.
Yes.
Did that really happen?
All of the story that makes the cartoons unique, all of those stories are like 100% true.
Oh, you got to tell the story. You have to tell the story.
So I was going to get my taxes done, and my guy has his own tax place, black-owned business, and he is in a terrible neighborhood. So it's one of them neighborhoods that you could just get pulled over just to get messed with. So I'm going there. They pull me over randomly, and it was like 4 cops hopped out the car. They walked up to me, "Hey, get out the car immediately. Throw me in handcuffs. Didn't tell me why." My car matched description or whatever. And so I have my car. And we had just finished shooting like a cop movie, and then we shot like a sketch, a sexual harassment sketch. So I had like fake guns, fake drugs, and other stuff in my car. So the cops
you can go ahead. Yep.
So first the cops pulled out like some sand. It was packed in a little bag. It looked like heroin. He like, bingo. He threw it on the car. He thought it was heroin. I'm like, nah, it's sand. They're getting frustrated because they can't find nothing. He went in my trunk. They start pulling out all these fake guns. Now it's like businesses on the side of the street, and they like pointing because they see cops pulling out shotguns out of my car, thinking they're real guns. And so they were like, he kept asking me, "What do I do?" I was like, "Man, I make movies. Those all props." And he's just getting frustrated at this point because he basically stopped me for no reason, and he has no reason to arrest me. So he's pulling stuff out, and he's not looking. And the guy, I had a dildo from a sexual harassment sketch he did. It wasn't a used one, but it was just a dildo. And he grabbed it without looking because he thought it was a gun.
A gun? I don't know what kind of dildo you had.
It was a big black one. And he holding it in his hand. And all his people, his like partners, they were laughing. And he didn't know why. He looked around, he looked at his hand, and he just like slammed it down, slammed my trunk closed. And they pulled off. They uncuffed me and pulled off. And like the funny thing about it, they didn't even realize my registration was expired. I didn't have my license on me, and I didn't have no insurance at the time. But they did all of that, and they left.
So the moral of this story is have sex toys in your
car, exactly,
and you be good.
You
get out of a ticket. I don't know if it should be used or not used.
Hey, that's up to you.
Yo, when I saw that skit, I was like, that can't be real. That can't be real. Oh, Lord Jesus. I'm telling you guys, you got to go check out his page. Make sure you go to my page and just check out all the links. But getting a little serious for a moment, how hard is it in this field? Like, can you just decide one morning, I'm going to make people laugh, get up and do it, and then it's done? How hard is it?
It's fairly hard because comedy is subjective. Everybody likes what they like. Kevin Hart is the most successful comedian out right now, but it's millions of people who don't like Kevin Hart. It's just what it is. It's not to say he's funny, not to say he's not. It's just people like what they like. And, you have to be able to push that button enough to trigger people, to make people figure out what people want to laugh at. I grew up, I went to a mixed school, so I grew up around every kind of race. So it's easier for me. I found out with like certain groups of people, like, you find that funny? Oh, so that became an easier task for me to figure out.
Yeah. Yeah, I know when we're talking backstage, I think I'm pretty funny, It's subjective. It's definitely subjective.
Right.
Because some of my family be like, don't know about funny, but
Right.
but everything's definitely for me it's situational and it's conversational, right? So I'm
Right.
pretty quick. I'm pretty quick with the thoughts and the wits and the but getting up on the stage. That's not like something I could
Right.
do whatsoever to be on the mark. And I've said some shit that I thought is funny, and the whole room is like,
Yeah.
and I probably insulted like 75% of the people that was sitting there was like, oh, maybe that was not an appropriate joke.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to learn to read the room.
Yeah. And I love the funny thing to me now is like when the person don't laugh. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you get somebody like so shocked, and it's like everybody not supposed to laugh. Some people supposed to think about it for a minute and be like, God damn, I can't believe you just said that. Like some people supposed to actually have a moment of clarity on
Mm-hmm.
some things you say or material you put out.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess we answered it a little bit, but for the bulk of your comedy, where does it stem from? Is it a mix of real life with a little bit of the creativity, or
Mhm.
where does it all stem from for you?
Most of majority is real life experiences and just living day by day. We got a orange president right now, and the world is on fire. So a lot of stuff is like comes from within or stuff you see around you, situational stuff.
Yeah, I think the last 4 years have been a
Yeah,
comedy sketch writer's dream
yeah.
at this
It's
point.
it's just like we made a segment called "Is This Racist?" and it's just like now since the racial climate is like really high, you don't know if somebody being an asshole if they just being racist. Like one of the comments, one of the sketches we did, it's I go and this is a true story. I went into a gas station for condoms,
Okay.
and hey, I went in there for condoms, Korean lady, and I
Uh-huh.
say, can I get 2001 and a pack of condoms? And she immediately threw the magnums on the counter. Now, so is that being racist,
Or
or she just read the room? You know,
listen, listen. She may be experienced, right?
you never know. But it's like, should I get mad at her? So you have to figure it out. You got to go through the motions in your head. Is this racist? Maybe they made a mistake. You can't always assume that it's racist.
True. So speaking of condoms, great
Mhm.
segue. There was another skit, and no, I don't
Yeah.
believe that. I don't believe. I swear to God, I don't believe that. You have to tell us about this one.
The condom cartoon.
Yes,
That's the
that's
first
not
one I
real.
did.
That's not real.
That is very real.
That's not real. Oh no,
This
hell
happened.
no.
It was in my early 20s, and it was a girl. We wasn't serious. We was just messing around.
Mhm.
And it was one day, and we had messed around before that one day. We finished having sex. I'm packing up. Time to go. No need to spend the night. And she said I'm not feeling well, and so she's like, it feels like something is in me. So I'm like, all right, I'll help you out. I'm not no gynecologist, but I can thumb through it. So I, I went and peeked and I saw something like dangling out. I'm like, oh. And I
Mm.
went, reached in, pulled it out, and it was a condom. And ladies that had this before, condom might have fell off in her. Only problem was that wasn't my condom. I had already
Nope.
took my condom off and I threw it in
Mm-mm.
the trash. So it was another guy's condom in her.
No,
And it
no.
didn't click to me that she's all embarrassed, but I'm holding another man's condom in my hand. And she had the nerve to be ashamed.
But wait, like, okay, all right. Like, did you just leave? Like, I need to know, like, what happened after. Like, did you ask her how long that's been in there? When did she last wash? Like, what was like, what?
I,
Like,
I just said, I threw it on the floor immediately. Like when it clicked, when it like I got to my senses, I threw that shit on the floor. I'm like, y'all gotta get out of here. I went in her bathroom, washed my hands, left out. I don't even know if I locked the door behind me. I got out of there. There's nothing else you can say to me. I don't want your apology.
no, but I'm like just thinking, like, what, like, how long that's been simmering in there? Like, it ain't smell funny. Like,
It
I'm
didn't.
sorry, I just gotta
I
ask.
didn't smell it. it was already a hint of sex in the air at the time, so I didn't like give it an extra whip. Oh no, it might have had a hair on it. I distinctly remember it had a hair on it, but it was in my hand longer than I wanted. I flicked it on the ground and I got the hell out of it.
My friend Hayward said 2 words.
I'm
I'm
gone.
gone.
It's no conversation. I don't want to talk to you at this point.
She said, so you just say you're stupid.
This is a wrap. So we never spoke again. It's like, it ain't no, hey, what you doing this weekend? Nothing. I'm going to get my fingers chopped off. That's what I'm doing.
I'm about to go get this test. I'm going to let you know when it
Right.
comes back with and how much you owe me for the test and the medicine.
Exactly.
JoJo said, so I guess talking about the Korean lady with the condoms, that wasn't racist. She probably just hadn't had none in a while.
Maybe.
Yep.
If something going through her head, she's like, he probably a Magnum person. Hey.
Hey, was that keep my clothes, throw the whole lady away. Just throw it all away. I'm telling you, when I saw that, I was like, this is bullshit. Like, there's no way. I was like, I don't know about all that because I'm just, as a woman, just thinking about all of that. Like, you feel stuff inside of you. Like, I don't know. Like, you don't wash. I don't know. Like,
well, I mean, she's one of the women that's used to things being inside of her, so it wasn't that big of a stretch. She's like, oh, it's just another Tuesday.
No, that's bananas. All right. So we've talked about some, but some crazy things and stuff. But what's the craziest thing you've ever encountered actually in the business itself?
In the business, on film. Well, I had a situation filming. I might do this as a cartoon. It was a scene where somebody was getting like killed in the bathtub, and so he had his clothes on, and so he got killed in the bathtub. We shot the scene, so we setting up the next scene, and we're talking, and he comes out of the bathroom butt naked. It's a white guy, and it's not just 3 people there. It's a room full of people. It's like 12 people in the room, and he's just standing in the doorway with his arm up on the frame, and I'm like, yo, what are you doing? He's like, what's wrong? You Americans act all crazy about nudity and stuff. I'm like, dude, you American. What are you talking about? So somebody had to throw him a towel and he got out of there. I've been arrested before. We've been arrested before.
Have I?
No, we have.
You have?
We have been arrested shooting.
What?
Like when me and my partner Diesel, we first started working together, we shot a sketch. It was like basically like a fake prank show where I like act like I'm pranking a homeless person, and then a homeless person beat me up. And so we shot it in the back of my parents' house. We saw the police across the street. They were like at a Dunkin' Donuts, just chilling. So we see them. It's not like we weren't doing anything illegal. And so as soon as he proceeds to fake beat me up, him and like 4 of the cars just swoop in out of nowhere. And so he's like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, well, there's cameras here. We just shooting something. And it's like, okay, then let me see your ID. And it's all right. I gave my ID, and my partner Diesel he works for NBC. He gave him his credentials. And so I hear him running the thing, and all of a sudden he's like, hey, put your hands behind your back. I'm like, what?
What?
Apparently,
did you have a warrant you didn't know about? That was a racist.
I know about it.
You did? For real?
Yeah, I had a traffic warrant. I'm like, shit. And so they throw me in a car. So I'm sitting in there, and I'm hearing the radio, and they were like, yeah, does this guy go by the name of David Williams? Does he have a 5-point star tattoo? And he has none of those things. And so they arrested my partner Diesel, too, because they thought he was someone else.
Oh, Jesus.
So we're in like a holding cell, and Bill would hold himself for like 3 hours waiting to get processed.
Lord. Yeah. So who are some comedians that you've worked with?
Let's see. Rodney Perry. I literally just worked with him a week ago. Rodney Perry from Atlanta. He's been in Tyler Perry projects. He's in Coming to America too. Leon Rogers, Damon Williams. I interviewed Roy Wood Jr. before.
Okay.
Yeah. Who else? I'm gonna get killed if Sean Morgan. There's a bunch of Chicago comedians.
Okay.
Shit, I can't think of anymore. Calvin Evans. He's what he's on Chicago PD and the show Southside. So I work with a few great Chicago comedians.
Cool. Jojo says they were in their comfort zone. Y'all interrupted their pleasure time. What you talking about? You talking about the popo? Jojo, you talking
Oh
about the
yeah, the Dunkin'
popo?
Donuts.
Oh yeah.
Good. They're like, oh, we got to do some shit now.
Yeah, we gotta work. We gotta actually work. My father made a joke. He's like, you ever see those construction dudes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they just there's like three of them looking at a hole in the
Right.
in the road, and they're like,
Right.
the first one's like, yep, that's a hole. Goes to the second one and goes, yep, that's a hole. Third one's like, yep, that's a hole. All right, we'll be back next week. Like, and that was like the whole thing. Like,
Right.
so we interrupted the cops with their little Dunkin' Donuts
Yeah,
break
they
and
donuts.
stuff. But I love my police officers out there. You know who you are. I have a lot of police officer friends. I don't, it is a crazy, crazy world right now. The good are the good and the bad are the bad, and we need the good to stand up for the rights of all civilians and our civil rights. So I just had to.
You need to call. If you own stuff, you need the police. Police are the people that own stuff.
So tell me about what, and do you have anything in the works? Anything coming up? Anything good? Did I lose you? Jay, where you go? Tell me about some good stuff and I'm moving it. So you coming
Hello,
back?
hello.
You there? What happened? You talk to
Okay,
me
I'm
no
here.
more? All right, there you go. Yeah. So what kind of work you got going on? Anything new coming in? I know you got before you do that, the choke on that series. What is that about?
It's uncensored sketch comedy. The raw stuff that they don't show you on SNL. Nothing's off limits. We talk about stuff to make people uncomfortable, stuff to make people laugh. So
Mm-hmm.
we're releasing season 2 of that in the beginning of the year. That is the plan. It
Okay.
kind of production got halted because of COVID. So finally, we're gonna be able to release it on Amazon Prime beginning of February. That's the goal.
Okay. And we can see the first season on Amazon Prime.
Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Along with the stepdads.
Yeah.
So you can go take a look at that. We were talking about it a little bit earlier if you missed it. It's about this guy who is, why don't you tell us what it's about?
The Stepdads is about this guy Mike who was a foster kid. He was dating a woman, and the woman who has 2 kids of her own, she cheated on Mike with his best friend, and he ends up with the children, and he doesn't want to put them in the system because he knows what the system is about. And so, with the help of his foster brother Jerry, played by myself, they attempt to raise these kids as their own, but they have no kids, no experience ever. Do I have a tube channel YouTube or porn tube? I got a YouTube. It's J.
There's a porn too. Let me go find out.
Right. I saw tube. I'm like tube.
Noob.
Yeah, it's J Davis TP. Just look it up on YouTube. J Davis T is in Tom.
And Jojo, if you go over to my Ciphered Knowledge page and scroll down a little bit, there is
Hey,
a
where you
link
go? You there?
to his channel. There's also a link to his Amazon shows as well. So you could take a look at that. And then also I have some links to his Facebook as well. So all his links are on my page as I normally do. I put them up there so everybody can go check out the guests before we air. Facebook doesn't like the tube.
Nah.
Yeah, but the link is there on my page. And then I'll obviously reshare it again after the show tonight. But he's got some great content on there. I will tell you that I noticed something in your shows, and I love
Uh-huh.
it. And unless you're really watching, I guess you don't catch it. I love your shirts. Funeral shirt, Jerry shirt, just shirt. Where did you get that concept?
Yes. Yeah. You know, I had some friends had a clothing line out here, and they used to make stuff. It said like shirt. That's why I got my first shirt. And then I got a
Mhm.
hoodie, and it said hoodie. And I'm like,
Mhm.
they stopped making the clothes. And
Really?
Yeah, and so I just like decided to like keep it going or whatever because people every time I wear it, I got like a mask that says mask, and so like it gets people attention or whatever. So I started wearing it like the funeral shirt at the funeral. Like I
Mm-hmm.
sold a few of those.
You did? Oh
Yeah,
wow.
like people like, hey man, how can I get a funeral shirt? I'm like, all right, I got you. So hey.
Well, if you buy Cricket, no, let me stop this.
Right. So
You,
it kind of brightens up the funeral a little bit.
oh, sure, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it does. But I did definitely cash that, and I was like, that's a cute little. I like that because I'm always waiting for the next shirt, right?
Right.
Like I'm waiting for
Uh-huh.
your next shirt, and I think there was one. What did it say? Did it say "fuck Gucci"? Like, but the fuck was backwards. Did I catch that right? I didn't have my glasses on, so
Say
I
it
don't
again.
know. The I think it was
Wait,
your
what did you
Gucci
say?
T-shirt. Did it say "fuck Gucci" but like backwards? The word
Yes,
"fuck" was backwards.
yes. That was one of their shirts that they made. When who
Really?
was it? I think it was Gucci had put out something where they said they didn't want black people wearing their stuff. It was like a few years ago, and then my guys made a shirt that said Gucci.
So we got Dwayne here saying he has great material for your stepdad show. Can he be a writer?
Have you ever watched the show?
Right? You gotta go watch the show
You gotta
first,
watch the show
Dwayne.
first.
Yes, Angel. Thanks. I hope you feel better. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the love and support. Yes, my glasses. I don't have my glasses on. Leave me alone. This I get ripped about not having my glasses on, but we will not be wearing them on this show.
Okay. Wait, do you need the
Not at
glasses?
all. I can see you. I can
Oh, okay.
read. I can read. Just don't ask me to read small print like a prescription bottle, because then I don't know how many pills you need to take and what's
Oh,
gonna
Jesus.
happen if you. I can't help you there with the fine print.
Do
I
you?
don't know. This old age is kicking in, man. I'm telling you, I don't know what. It's like I hit 40, then all of a sudden it's trying to get out of the bed. Like I literally 39,
Mhm.
12:59, whatever, 11:59 p.m. to 12
Uh-huh.
a.m. Like I don't know. When that clock just switched, it was like rolling out of blood and everything just started cricking and clacking. So I was like, this is some bullshit here. Um, but I work out about 4 or 5 times a week. I'm trying to stay fit. I was a diabetic and I actually beat it. I used to take insulin and everything,
Oh,
but
congratulations.
between diet and exercise, I kicked its ass. It didn't kick my ass, so
That's what's up.
I need to be around for the grandbabies.
Hell
Two of
yeah.
them. You know what I'm saying? That they're my
Right.
world.
Mhm.
Um, so, what advice would you give somebody who's trying to get into this field?
Um, be consistent and persistent. Um, and don't think that it's gonna come overnight. Everybody think like I'm gonna make a YouTube video or Instagram video and I'm gonna go viral and I'm gonna be famous. It don't really work like that all the time. Like you have to actually put in work and you have to study, be a student of what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, you have to be a student of. Whether it's music, comedy, anything you want to pursue, you have to be a student of some way in some form. You can't just pick up something and do it.
Yeah, I granddaddy. You what? We gonna have to talk later. How you granddaddy? We talk later, Angel? This I don't know about that. So I will tell you how that is true because with the podcast, this is my eighth episode going in right now. But I was on another podcast prior to this, and I had that even before that a couple of years back. I had this radio podcast prior to that, and you can get discouraged very easily. You sit there and you second guess everything you do. Maybe the views aren't where you want. Like I have to have this internalizing conversation with myself and
Mhm.
also some of my loved ones and be like, what am I doing? Like, what are we doing? Are we doing this? Like, am I doing this? And they're
Mhm.
like, you are such a fucking overachiever. I'm gonna
Mhm.
need you to calm down a little bit. My son is my tech guru guy, and he's
Mhm.
like, Do you realize that your viewership is 90% of your actual followers? Nobody gets that. And you're a nobody. I was like, oh, I'm only a mother that gave birth to you, but it's all good. I'm a nobody. It's all right. You know, wasn't in labor with you and, you know, got my stitches and cut from one end to the other end just to pull you out, but I'm a nobody. So, but it definitely consistency and not second guessing yourself. So were there any moments during your career where you were kind of second guessing yourself?
I was like early on when I was doing stuff because I'm a real like I'm not gonna say I'm a religious person, but I'm a spiritual person, and it's just like I'll talk about sex or something in a sketch or something really explicit, and then go to church every Sunday. And so it's like I'm like, is this wrong to do? Like, am I like being a hypocrite? And so I asked like one of the pastors, like, hey man, is this okay to do? And he's like, yeah, as long as you're not doing porn, you good. I'm like, oh, all right.
I don't know. It's a fine line between porn and comedy.
Right. So like, long as nobody is naked on camera and sex is happening, I'm good.
So the illusion of sex is okay.
Yeah, that's okay, according to him. I'm just going by what he told me. I didn't get a second opinion because I didn't want to hear an answer.
Listen, you know, I feel like I have my faith, um, but I am far from righteous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, and you know, your work is your work, and you just gotta, you know. But so now, do we have any? Now we can get back to that question that I kind of skipped over, which is besides the Choke on It series 2 coming out in January. Do you have anything? Anything? Do you do any live comedy? Any stand up comedy? Is there anything?
Oh well, right now, the goal is we're finishing up. We're actually shooting another episode of Stepdads next weekend. We finally we were supposed to shoot it like in March. Now we're actually shooting a new episode. The goal next year, if the world stops coughing on each other, I'm gonna shoot my next feature film, the sequel to Not Another Black Movie. So that is the goal for next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So end next year.
Yeah, mid next year, hopefully, like when everything clears up. But it's looking real rough right now. Like we just got put back on punishment this last week.
So wait. All right. So wait a minute. In Chicago, so they put new restrictions back up in Chicago.
Yeah, they put new restrictions back up. Like all like bars and anything serving food, they have to close by a certain time. Like comedy clubs, there's no comedy clubs open right now.
Well, can you have a comedian in a restaurant?
Yeah, well, I think you can only have 10 people there. Like, yeah, it's bad. We went to a comedy show last week, and the capacity was like 50 people. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, but you know what? That's where a lot of people kind of gets their start, right? Don't you like us? For me, I liked when I was telling you earlier about the smaller venues, like the back in the days when I used to go to the comedy club. I like that little small,
the intimate, yeah,
that intimate feeling, because then it's like you almost feel like, you know, the one-on-one with the comedian,
right.
And so, you know, a lot of people don't know the story, but I told you the story backstage. This was before Dave Chappelle got, like I said, I think I'm funny.
Uh-huh.
Right? So there was a Dave Chappelle was at the Boston Comedy Club down in Lower Manhattan, the Village, and he's there. He's doing his skit. This is when we were able to smoke in the yeah.
That's many years ago.
many years ago, at my age. And I had my cigarettes on the counter, and Dave Chappelle's like, "Can I get a cigarette?" And I was like, "Yo, nigga, go get a job!" Like, what the hell? Like, why are you trying to take my shit? And he just looked at me like, and I kind of knew like I was fucked from that point. But he didn't do me wrong. He didn't do me wrong.
Right, he didn't go in on you.
He didn't go in on me. He just went to the next guy, the white guy next to me, and got a marble instead of a Newport. And that was what that was.
You forced one of the greatest comedians of all time to smoke a Marlboro. I hope you feel good for yourself.
Yeah. You know what? Cancer's cancer, no matter what you're smoking. Kay lives out in North Carolina. She said, "Come down there and do the outside venues."
Oh, y'all haven't been put on punishment? That's dope. I
That's
want to do like a drive-in kind of thing. That would be good.
That would be cool, but that is not dope that they have not been put on punishment. Do you know how we are?
Yeah.
Like we're so and me as a nurse.
Mm. I just saw something. Was it in New Jersey? Like a big Halloween party that got busted or something like that? Was that New Jersey?
Probably.
Like, it was like hundreds of people there with like they had on masks, but like not the right, like an Iron Man mask. I'm like, that ain't gonna protect you, dude. Like you dead.
Joe, I'm telling you, it's crazy. I gotta say, for the most part, I have been seeing people comply with wearing the mask and stuff like
Mm.
that. But it kills me when people are like, I'm not gonna wear a mask. I'm not gonna do it. It's not gonna protect me. And I'm like, all right.
You know what? And I want to know if this is wrong or not. Tell me if I'm wrong.
All right.
Okay, I have like a few Trump supporters and people, anti-mask people on my page. They always be posting, calling people like mask Nazis and shit. I haven't unfriended them because I'm waiting for them to get sick, and just so I can like see that Facebook post of them in the hospital bed with the half thumbs up, like brother, you ain't gonna make it. I'm waiting for that. Is that wrong? Because I know
Is
in my
not
mind,
wrong.
like, dude, you should have worn, man. Because they be out in public and having like little Facebook lives showing them without a mask going around people. I'm like, why can't this person get sick? Like, why can't that one get?
No, that's like when the drunk driver lives, but the one he crashed into dies.
Exactly.
It's like look, we laughing over here. I apologize, but this is uncensored humor, so you
it,
didn't get what you didn't get. All
well,
right.
I mean, because it's like they affect everybody else.
So, uh, Kay's husband says we're on punishment, but stage 3. What does stage 3 look like? Like, what's that? Like stage 3? I don't know about these tiers.
Like, well, I remember stage 1 was like zombie apocalypse, like nobody outside. Like that was stage 1. I think stage 3, like you can go out, but it's like 3 people at a time in a bar or something like that. I remember phase 1 is just like, yeah, nobody's coming outside unless you have to.
So Jojo says we're on phase 3 here in Tampa. Mostly everything is open with minimal restrictions. Girl, wear your mask. Like it's great. Like I have some. I'm not even gonna say Trump supporters. I'm not gonna put that. I'm not gonna label it that. I'm gonna have some anti-maskers, right?
Yeah.
Anti-maskers tell me that COVID ain't real.
I know personally, well, you're a nurse, but I know personally 30 people who's had COVID. I know like 5 people that died from COVID. So I was like, yeah, what is it then? I was like, not hearsay. I'm like, know these people personally that got it. So
Yeah. What Jeff? Hey, random question, but how do you become established as a comedy writer? I feel like I'm exceptionally funny.
well, you have to write it. First of all, you got to write stuff down. You got to format it correctly. I use Final Draft as a writing software. It helps you format stuff, and just start writing shorts. Write funny shorts, write funny stories that happen to you, and you just have to write material and format it correctly,
Well,
and shoot it and see if it's funny or not. Most people think barbers overall funny, so your friends will always probably laugh or call you a bum. But it's when strangers laugh at you, that's when you know you're onto something.
listen, I'm that friend that's gonna tell you the truth.
Yeah,
Like,
and some people are
that shit
fake,
ain't funny.
right? It's a lot of people are fake, and they give you false hope. And but you gotta get stuff in the hands of people you don't know, and that'll be the best judge of it. And be open to criticism. Like if you are one of them people like, I'm funny, everybody say I'm funny. Fuck, you don't know what you're talking about. Then you have to be open to criticism all the time.
It's like, do they think you funny because you always pay for the dinner bill?
Right.
So they laugh at your dumbass jokes. Like,
Yeah.
some of my shit be corny sometimes, but fuck it, I laugh, and that's all that matters.
Right.
Joanne says, "Oh no, phase 3 is way more relaxed than that." Like,
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm scared what phase 3 looks like. Bars
Yeah,
are
bars open. It's that phase one shit that is just like the streets are banned. It looked like what was that movie Will Smith was in? I Am Legend. That's what like just the downtown area looked like.
Listen, let me tell you, it is crazy. Like, I mean, if you don't have, I get the like, do the video. Like me and two of my girlfriends, because we live in different places, couldn't get together, but we did a Zoom wine. Like, we sat down,
Mm,
we had our wine, and we did Zoom, and we
mm.
were just bullshitting and chopping it up, and what you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I mean,
People I don't know. The people just want to go out and pay $15 for a sweet drink, a watered down drink, and be around us. I don't know. I'm just not like that.
my girl, no lie, her boobs are fucking humongous. I swear to God, she's got to be like a fucking triple A B C D E F G H. Like,
Right.
yo, she's fucking huge. And if you're still watching, you know who you are. We used to put the fucking them little travel liquor bottles,
And
yo, in her boobs when we used to go to the clubs and shit. And
uh,
nobody like they just did the kind of little pat right here.
right.
Her shits are so huge, like all they're doing is that little pat. And we would go to the bathroom, get one drink, and they go to the bathroom and just make all
Uh,
our drinks in the bathroom. Like, I'm not paying $15 for something I could get for $2 at home. Fuck out of here. So we got Dwayne who says, "What computer program does he use to write?" And Jay, when I get you back, you coming in. He said, "What computer program do you use to write?"
Final Draft.
Final Draft.
Yeah, you can actually try it out for free for 30 days. Um, and it's a free software for 30 days. But Final Draft is like the industry standard. Some people use one called Celtics. I haven't tried that before, but a lot use Final Draft.
So what's different between that and Microsoft Word?
Because Final Draft, if you try to write a whole script the way it's supposed to be formatted correctly, doing it in Word will take like 3 days. Like it'll take forever to do like one page. Final Draft formats it for you already because it's like different things in scripts that they have to be formatted. Like each character, you don't have to write each name out. You can just do like a drop down in Final Draft to be put each character name. So it makes it easier and more efficient too.
See, I'm cheap. I would just use Excel because I know how to make drop downs. All right, here, like I'm cheap. We carrying liquor in the boobs, like
Yeah,
oh.
yeah, you have titty juice liquor in the
That's
club.
it. You know what? Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Hold on. We got Joanne said the last time I went to the brass tap, the bartender explained that they don't have to require us to wear a mask to enter, but they had to wear it. Some stores are letting folks fly without a mask, being a big deal about it. I'm like, don't get me wrong, I still wear my mask and I wear it to go in until I'm seated, but mostly hang out in places that have an outside patio.
Yeah, I mean you're supposed to like when you eat your food, you gotta take your mask off and stuff
Right.
like that. Um, have you ever like went to a store, forgot your mask in your car, and you be like, "Fuck!" You like lose your mind. Everybody get your mind.
Yo, and I got like, so it got to a point, right, where I
Mm.
have different masks to match my outfit.
Yeah, that's what they. I like know so many people who design masks now. Like,
Well, I just went all like billboard. I did my baseball cap, my face
mm,
mask, my hoodie, my
right.
t-shirts, all with Cipher knowledge on it. And
Yeah.
I'm just walking around like, ask me what this is. Ask me what this is. Go ahead.
That's what the world is now. It's crazy. Like
Listen,
it's yeah.
I'm telling you, but going back to the anti-maskers who told me that COVID doesn't exist,
Mm,
I tell them to come join me at work because I'm a
mm,
hospital nurse. To
mm.
come join me at work and watch these people who end up with COVID um, struggle with their last breath.
Yeah, you have to see somebody. You have to give them an iPad so they can tell their family goodbye because their family can't come to the house. Like that's fucked up.
Yeah, my son lost his grandmother in April
Right.
to COVID. I mean, granted, there's underlying conditions and stuff like that. And no, not everybody who gets it is gonna be, you know,
Mm,
is not gonna be their demise. But we got to think about the ones who are out
mm,
here. I don't know how schools are going for you out there, but my son has the choice of going hybrid which is going in some days and then doing computer some other days,
Mm-hmm.
or just doing all computer. And he decided to do all remote learning. He didn't want to go in. And Friday, I got 2 calls back to back from the school saying that there was 2 positive kids, and neither one related to each other.
Wow.
One a
It
couple of hours after each other.
Yeah, it's just like you don't know who. Like a lot of people are asymptomatic and they walk around with it. They just was at a party, tongue kissing a stranger, and then they go home and sneeze, and grandma is in hospice now. And so it's like you don't know. You don't know if you have. Some people are just asymptomatic. They don't know if they have it or not. So
No, not at all. So what do you got to say about this whole this election? We got it 2 days away.
this is like here's the funny thing. Like my parents are older. They're in their like 70s, so they witnessed King, JFK, Malcolm X, Medgar. They witnessed all those assassinations. My dad was in Vietnam. Um,
Thank you
they
for
went through the '80s crack epidemic, civil rights, and they said this is the worst time in history that they've ever seen the world be in. So
really.
I was like, Jesus, yeah, this is it's bad. And it's just like I hope whatever whoever I know it's a hard decision to make. I know going to the poll. I remember when Obama ran, and I was excited to go to the polls. I wasn't that excited this time. Like it's not the same feeling, and so it's just like somebody got to fix this shit. And I tell people like this: if I was dating a girl for 4 years and she gave me diseases and made me broke, I'm getting in a new relationship. So
Right. You don't stay in that toxic relationship. You pack your shit and you bounce
yeah,
the fuck up out of there.
yeah.
Like,
You gave me 4 years. I seen what you can do, and it's pretty fucked up. So,
mhm. I was looking at it like, right, like how parents are to their kids.
mm-hmm.
Um, and we have to make decisions for our children that they may not agree with or like, but it's better for the right? It's better for the situation. It's better for their overall well-being. Um,
Right.
and I feel like that's the same thing with the presidency, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you can't. The president's not going to be able to do everything you want them to do. Right?
No,
It's just not going to happen, right?
no.
It's not going to happen at all.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we have to. I was going back and forth with one of these guys that I knew from a couple of years, and I said to him, I said, "Listen, you're not going to change my opinion, and I'm not going to change your opinion. Right? We're voting for who we're voting for, and we're stuck on that, and that it is what it is. But what I'm going to tell you is, I'm going for the person that's closest to my values
Exactly.
and views." And
Mm-hmm.
that's the one that I'm voting for. I'm not going to sit there and vote for someone who's a you won't go
Look, I'm not gonna vote for somebody that I think that I'm smarter than, and that's just what
Hey,
like. If
no.
I have to,
Of
if
course
I
he
have
didn't
any
know he's
doubts
smarter.
about it, then I'm not voting. I'm like, dude, I'm smarter than you. I know for a fact that I am. So I
Listen,
can't do
no, but wait, what are you talking about? He took the test. It was very simple. It was really easy. They
it.
ask you questions and then they ask you the same questions again. And then you got to say camera, elephant, dinosaur.
Yeah.
It's bigly easy. Like
Right.
I'm sorry, y'all gonna hate me, but listen, my views are my views. My values are my values. I know what stands close to me, my family,
Right.
um, and that at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but when racism has reared its ugly head during this presidency,
Yeah.
that's not something I can stand for. And anybody who sits there and denies it
Yeah.
is in a deficit of
Yeah.
knowledge. What I say all the time, my slogan is, if all you've experienced is all you know, then you're in a
Mm,
deficit of knowledge. So someone who's never experienced racism
yeah.
can never understand what it is
No.
to have experience. You can't.
No, just like that the whole police officer situation. Like I told that to a white person, and they were like flabbergasted. That's the word they use. Like, why did they pull you out? You can sue. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm not trying to die. Like it's just We get pulled over for no reason, snatched out the car, rights are violated. That shit happens. It's just you try to make it out. And it is what it is. And like I've lost friends because of political. Yes,
Yeah.
and it's funny that you said that because I had people I went to high school with and we're Facebook friends, and I've never spoken to them like on Facebook or whatever. And then out of nowhere, it's like I'll post something, and then they just come with all this like racist rhetoric. Like somebody get like the guy that got shot in the back 7 times, and it was like, well, maybe he should have just complied. I'm like, dude, first of all, I never spoke to you, and you think that was the only thing wrong?
I had somebody who didn't post anything because I've been to a couple of protests, Black Lives Matter protests,
Mhm,
and I brought my kids because it
mhm,
was important. And I had a couple of people not say anything about the death of George Floyd, the murder of George Floyd, nothing. But as soon as the riots started happening, they went straight to that. And I called every one of their asses out. Like, hold up.
mm,
I did not see you say shit about this man's murder, but
mm.
then you sat there and was talking about why are we rioting and looting. Like, do you not understand that that is the language of the unheard?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
and then you don't know it, you didn't experience it. So because your mind cannot wrap around the concept of it actually occurring, you're never going to understand it. And that's where empathy and compassion comes from, when you step outside of your own comfort zone and your own shoes to understand where someone else is coming from. And I know we got a little heavy here, but like this is
No,
my like,
no. I mean, it's true. I tell them, and it is some white people who want to be, allies and just don't understand. And you just got to educate them. You got to tell them, like, hey, man, just like, Kaepernick wasn't wrong. Like, you have like this. This is not a coincidence. This shit's been happening in years. It's just an HD now, and
yes,
everybody can see it.
everybody got a fucking camera now. Everything gets
Exactly.
recorded.
So it's like don't talk about the riots. Like no, they don't want to talk about the riot. They don't want to talk about what led to them. I'm like, we have racial tension in this country, and people are broke. Like people are broke. They have $1,200 since like for like the last 9 months to live off of, and the riots. I know for here. So usually when it's like a protest or something happen, it was like in poor areas in Chicago. The shit started moving towards the suburbs, and then I noticed like all like some of the white people on my page, like this just needs to stop when it starts moving to their area, which was
Yeah,
hilarious to me.
yeah. It's like that's where we need to be going to protest and doing our riots.
Right.
But Jojo said 4 years worth of disease give you lost condoms. Don't get in another relationship for sure. She said, I never lost a friend because of political differences because I never discussed my political views with anybody. And that's, and that's usually kind of where I kind of stand is I don't
Mhm.
try to stay
Yeah.
very neutral, but when it gets so like
Mhm.
ridiculous, and I feel like I always say I was born in the right century because I swear to
Yeah.
God, if I would have been born in years
Mhm.
ago,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I would have been quartered, hung, all of that shit.
Right.
Because this South would have been
Like,
getting me in some serious trouble. Netherlands,
good
hey,
morning. See, I
come,
come from a dark time, where people didn't discuss their political views. You didn't know where someone stood. Now everybody's posting it, whatever, on their page. I remember, like, people would tell you how much cocaine they did before they told you they was voting for her. So,
it's like, did you try? Is it bad that when I drive? So I live in a predominantly red county.
uh-huh.
Is it bad that when I drive through my town and I see a Biden sign, I'm like, like I just drive by like, yes, power to the people and just keep driving.
Right.
But I feel like, it's
Yeah,
like
man.
it's hard. So he wants to know, how do you feel about your mayor?
Lori, we call her Uncle Larry, Lori Lightfoot. She's I feel bad for her because she's in a bad predicament. Like, this is the worst time to be the first African American mayor during like a pandemic. So she's doing the best as she can, trying to make the city safe. A lot of stuff is out of her control. Like Pritzker, the governor, made the order, this new shutdown order. So it's like she can't do anything about this, but she's doing the right thing. It's just you got to give her a chance. Like this is new to everybody, so it's like she's trying to do the best as she can. If she feels that setting certain things down will be the best thing, then that's the best thing. But it's a lot on the flip side of that. It's a lot of businesses suffering right now.
Yeah,
Like
you
small
know,
business, which sucks. But I mean, we got to figure out something.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely by the age of 5, probably by the age of 3, I would have been burned at the stake. This chick needs to go somewhere. I am. I've learned to step back because I've at work, if I see one of my coworkers who's not very vocal and kind of takes the beat downs from administration and stuff like that, stay quiet. I've learned now to mind my business because I still need to feed my family.
Right.
But I was the one that be like, "Yo, excuse me, like, why'd you just tell her that?"
Yeah.
Like what? Like, and fortunately, my company knows my attitude, and they just let me work nights now. So,
Right.
and it's pretty much dying people. So it's like, how much damage can I do, right?
Right. Right. What's the worst that could happen while you are?
you know. So it's so funny because I say as a hospice nurse, we have to have like a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
And when I'm in the room with like my boss and stuff like that, our jokes are so morbid. Like they are so morbid. You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like my medical director used to be like, so is the patient dying? I'm like, well, shit, they're on hospice. Like, what do you think? I was like, when you woke up, did you know you was like an hour closer to death? We're all like, every morning that you wake up, I love the thing that it's like, wake up, you got another morning. Thank the Lord. I'm like, yeah, you got another morning to be a day closer to death. Like, like
damn.
but that's the whole hospice, kind of shit that I deal with. But listen, I love that we were able to just chop it up, and like I said, I had some questions. We kind of went over them, but I just like the conversation to organic, back and forth. But I would just want to say we got Jay Davis here, writer, actor, producer. Okay. Make sure you check out on Amazon Stepdads and Choke on That series. The second one is coming out mid next year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, as long as we don't get, quarantined and purged.
Right. Is it purged?
Purged. I don't know. I'm just staying locked in. Like, I don't know who wants to go out once and then murder and then come back in. Like, I don't know, but whatever.
Right. You want to kill that one person that pisses you off. Right.
Well, I do have somebody on my list.
When that movie came out, I immediately thought of like 3 people. Like, yeah, they'd be gone quick. Like, I wouldn't even. I'd go just to get them and go back home.
But definitely check out Amazon Stepdads and Choke on That. Also YouTube, Not Another Zombie Movie and Not Another Black Movie. His website is jdavisfilms.com. You'll have, if you go to my page, you'll have all his information there. I really, really had a great time with you. We have one comment. Let me go back to that real quick. If Biden wins this election, it's going to be a Harris-Biden presidency. But is that a bad thing?
No, I mean, I think that's initially she's setting herself up to be the first female president. But Joe is old, and we know that. It's like I'm not delusional about Joe. He gets on there, and sometimes he says some shit. I'm like, God damn, Joe! Like, what are you talking about? But I'm not delusional about that. Like, Trump supporters don't give a damn what this man says. They're around. They support him 100%. But I mean, he's putting young people around him, and that's a positive thing for the future. So I look at it like that.
Absolutely. So is there any parting wisdom, anything that you want to close out the show with, anything that you want to tell us before you go? What do we need to know about Jay Davis before we end this show?
I really don't care if I offend people. That's part of the job. It's like, I do my best to make people laugh. If you get offended, that's a bonus for me. Um, please feel free to tell me if I offended you, and I will go out of my way to make the rest of your day a living hell if I offended you more. But no, I mean, just if whatever you want to do, just be passionate about it, be knowledgeable about it, and shit's not gonna happen overnight. And just don't get herpes. Just don't get herpes because people won't fuck with you with herpes. I can tell you that.
Listen, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Exactly.
You just never get rid of it. It's all
Never
good.
give in.
It's a love gift.
Right.
On that note, listen, guys, make sure you go over to Instagram and Facebook at cipher.chrissy. Like, follow, share the videos, share the content, share the podcast, tell your friends, invite your friends. Let's make this a whole fun environment. Let's make it a party because we can't party together in real life, as my
Right.
son would say, IRL, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, so go over to Facebook, Instagram. Don't forget to go over to YouTube, 2M1L Media. Like, subscribe, hit the button so that you can get notifications of every time we go live with all our shows around the turnbuckle, Saturdays and Sundays, 6 p.m. Cipher Knowledge with Chrissy, 8 p.m. every Sunday. We got Wednesday, Spitting with Spitter, 8 p.m. And then also you will be seeing a new show coming out, 2 cents with 2 dimes. So be on the lookout for that. That will be coming out really, really soon.
Hmm.
Um, and on that note, I'm going to leave you with what I say every night, which is every episode. If all you experience is all you know, you are in a deficit of knowledge.
I
So thank
like that.
you, right? Like I came up with it. I want to trademark it.
You
I
you should.
want
You
like
need that on a t-shirt.
and just be like slogan T-shirt, and then it definitely makes a lot of sense, especially this day and age right now. So thank you for joining the cipher and expanding your mind and listening to our experience. Make sure you go to my page and check out Jay Davis's all his information. And on that note, we will see you again next Sunday, 8
Hmm.
p.m. So on that, one love.